How dare you pull someone's life away from them? How dare you do God's job?
The mother shot nearly a dozen times while her 3 kids slept by her side. The father of those kids accused of staging a murder and making it look like a home invasion.
All right, now to breaking news in Orange County, where deputies just arrested 2 men in the murder of a mother of 3.
3 children, a 1-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 10-year-old. They all laid in that bed while he shot their mother a dozen times. They were all next to her when it happened. And the man investigators believe planned the whole thing. He didn't call 911. He didn't bang on a neighbor's door. He didn't scream for help. He waited 2 full hours in silence. But the moment he got shot once in the arm, he ran from door to door, begging someone to pick up the phone. That right there, that one detail, is what unraveled everything. Her name was Porshe Nikita Shanee Streeter. She was 30 years old. She lived in Orange County, Florida. She ran a small hairdressing business out of her apartment on Woodhill Park Drive. Not because she had no other options, but because it kept her home, close to her kids, and made her present. That was the point. She had 3 children, 10, 2, and a 1-year-old. She was their primary caregiver, their constant. She paid the bills, ran the business, kept the household moving, and she did all of it more or less on her own.
Porshe Streeter was shot and killed while she was asleep with her own children. Her friends are still grappling with the loss.
She was a God-fearing woman. And, if you got to know her, you know that she had a gentle spirit.
Her partner, Saun Rainge Jr., did not live there. He came and went. But the apartment, the kids, the day-to-day, that was Porshe's world. She built it. She ran it. She owned it in every way that mattered. And to be honest, I think that's part of why she's dead. Because someone who should have been beside her decided that what she built belonged to him too. And when she said no, things got very, very bad. Before we fully go further, welcome to Homicide Case Files, where real stories meet real consequences with no fluff. Just the truth. Hit subscribe if you find meanings in these stories. Now let's get into it. Porshe and Saun Rainge had known each other since high school. That kind of history has weight. Years of shared memory, shared kids, shared everything. It's the kind of relationship that's hardest to walk away from, even when every sign is telling you to run. The Orange County Sheriff's Office described their relationship as toxic. That's the official word. But what that word is carrying underneath it is a documented history of domestic abuse, of infidelity, of a power dynamic that had been sliding in a dangerous direction for a long time. In the days just before January 13th, 2024, Rainge allegedly physically beat Porshe. A friend reached out to police after the murder and reported the assault. A second person confirmed it. This was not a one-time thing. The pattern had a pattern. Now, layer on top of that, a custody dispute. Rainge wanted full custody of all 3 children. Porshe would not agree to that. And then there was the money. Rainge reportedly believed Porshe was hiding income from her hairdressing business. Money he felt entitled to, money he wanted access to or control over. And investigators believe those 2 things, the children and the cash, became the twin engines that drove him toward what happened next. Here's the part that should make your stomach drop. He didn't just get angry. He didn't just argue. He planned. At some point in the weeks or days before January 13th, Rainge made a decision. And he didn't make it alone. He enlisted a man named Benjamin Garman Jr., 26 years old, described as his cousin and close associate. Together, according to detectives, they physically cased Porshe's apartment complex before the night of the murder. They scoped out the layout, the access points, the timing. This was not impulsive. This was deliberate. Rainge reportedly had a key to the apartment. Investigators believe he used that key to get inside before the shooting, and then left with Garman, planning to return later to finish what they had set in motion. It was late. Porshe was asleep. Her 3 kids were beside her in the bed, the 1-year-old, the 2-year-old, the 10-year-old, and all of them right there. Benjamin Garman Jr. entered the apartment. He shot Porshe Streeter 10 times. She was killed in her own bed, surrounded by her children. The children were not physically harmed, But they were in that room. They witnessed or were present for something no child, no human being should ever have to be near. And then Garmin left. No one called for help. No one raised an alarm. Porshe's body remained in that bedroom for approximately 2 hours. With the children in the apartment, 2 hours. And here's where the story shifts from tragedy to something that genuinely made investigators stop and stare. After those 2 hours, Rainge and Garmin returned to the scene. Why? Because the plan wasn't finished yet. According to investigators, Garmin shot Rainge once in the arm, on purpose, by design. The goal was to make Porshe's murder look like a home invasion robbery gone wrong. Rainge would be the wounded survivor, the grieving father who tried to fight back.
All right, now to breaking news in Orange County, where deputies just arrested 2 men in the murder of a mother of 3. Now, this happened in January of 2024 on Wood Hill Park Drive, when deputies say 30-year-old Porshe Streeter was shot several times while she slept in bed with her children. The children were not hurt. Investigators say the kid's father told them this was a home invasion and that he was also shot in the arm. But today, deputies announced the father, Saun Rainge Jr., and a second suspect, Benjamin Garmin, are now charged with killing Streeter.
Porshe was shot 10 times. Her partner, the father of her children, a man who claimed to love her, sat in silence for 2 hours. Didn't knock on a door, didn't call for help, didn't do anything. But the moment he took a single bullet to the arm, he ran door to door, frantically, desperately, begging neighbors to call someone. 1 bullet to his arm created more urgency than 10 bullets in the body of the mother of his kids. Investigators saw that, and they didn't let it go. The case took more than a year to build. Detectives worked surveillance footage, witness testimony, physical evidence, and the contradictions embedded in Rainge's own account of that night. Every piece pointed in the same direction. In April 2025, more than 15 months after Porshe was killed, both Saun Rainge Jr. and Benjamin Garmin Jr. were arrested and charged with first-degree murder. Garmin had already been in federal custody on separate weapons charges. He was transferred to Orange County to face the murder charge. Both men now face life in prison. Porshe's cousin spoke publicly after the arrests. She didn't use complicated language. She didn't need to. She said Porshe was a good mother. She worked from home to stay close to her kids. She built something real inside that apartment, and she tried to hold it together in a relationship that had long since stopped being safe. She never got the chance to get out. Her 3 children, the youngest of whom will grow up with no memory of her face or her voice, were the only ones who survived that night. And in the most painful way imaginable, that is the only thing in this entire story that even comes close to a miracle. To Porshe's family, especially those 3 children, this story will not be forgotten. She mattered. She was more than what happened to her, and she deserved so much better than the end she was given. Thank you for watching this one all the way through. These stories aren't easy to sit with, and the fact that you stayed says something about you. I'll see you in our next true crime story.